morning, everybody. Welcome to the Jewish Historical Society's March program. A very special thanks to my partner in crime, Marcy Schoenfeld, wherever Marcy is, for putting this program together this morning, and all the people who came early to set up. We very much appreciate your help. Anyone who wants to be part of our program planning or setup, just come a little early. You can set up and sneak a cookie in the meantime. I have a very special day today here, and I want to thank Congregation Bethel for all the goodies, the extra tables, and co-sponsoring this event with us this morning. It seems like Bethel is a good place. You all found it. History and heritage is what the Jewish Historical Society is all about. And we're also about literature and books and people. We have a library in the Jewish Community Center, and I don't know how many of you have actually visited our library, but if you're looking up a book, all of our books are on the Ferguson Library database. So you can find it there, and if we're the only place in town that has it, then just come right on over to the Jewish Community Center, to our library. A number of years ago, we started some book talks, and they were the inspiration of a very special woman who's with us here today. And we call ourselves Jews Am HaSefer, the people of the book. Well, this morning we have an Isha HaSefer, a woman of the book. And her name is Barbara Rosett. And Barbara, I'm going to ask you to come over for a minute, and other people are going to be coming up as well. Gail, Joan, Frida. Okay. This is Barbara Rosett. She may not be very tall, but she's very mighty. And she definitely is a woman of the book. She loves books, reading books, analyzing books, and getting others interested in books. Barbara, when I thought of you, Emily Dickinson came to mind. She was kind of short too. From her poem from her third series, she wrote a poem about a book. There is no frigate like a book to take us lands away, nor any coursers like a page of prancing poetry. This traverse may be the poorest take without oppressive toll. How frugal is the chariot that bears a human soul. And Barbara definitely has shown us the way for books to take us places we didn't think we would be able to go. So you're going to hear today how she single-handedly set up a monthly book talk event that has grown to a literary event par excellence. And so, as president of the Jewish Historical Society, we are delighted to recognize the vision, the guidance, the direction, the leadership that Barbara has provided with a special award, the Goldberg Award, which you're going to hear about in a minute. And first, Gail Trell is going to tell us the story of the early history and Barbara's role. Then Joan Krantz and Frida is over Knopf will present the Goldberg Leadership Award to Barbara. Let's give Barbara a big hand. I'm just going to put them right here on top of right here.
Thank you, Alyssa Kaplan, our newly elected president. When I joined the Jewish Historical Society in the mid-90s, I met Barbara. And I was also on the board with George J. Goldberg. So the two of them were a team. George was in charge of membership, he was in charge of the finance, and Barbara was in charge of the library. So when I got involved with the library, that's how I got to know her. Special, special lady. She is the foundation of our library because she helped set it up and make it what it is today. She's the foundation. She is also the foundation of Book Talks, which is a monthly program that many of you, I know I've seen your faces at these Book Talks. You don't have to have read the book because there's a wonderful presenter that Barbara and her committee has chosen to explain the book to you. And then you can decide whether or not you want to read it, or if you've already read it, you can kind of have a little tat-a-tat with the presenter. Barbara is dedicated, determined, efficient, and she does it all in a very quiet, gentle way. And I have been so proud to know her and feel part of her gift that she has given the Jewish Historical Society with the Book Talks and with the library itself. So she is deserving of the George J. Goldberg Leadership, oh, there you go, yeah. Leadership Award. That, what does it say? It says, for the outstanding service to the Jewish Historical Society. So Barbara started out when it was Stamford Jewish Historical Society. Then it became the Jewish Historical Society of Greater Stamford. Then it was the Jewish Historical Society of Lower Fairfield County. And now it's the Jewish Historical Society of Fairfield County. We left off the lower. So we even include Sherman, Connecticut. So now let me turn it over to the latest co-chairs of the Book Talks, Joan and Frida.
Pleasure to be here today. I think Frida and I joined with Barbara in about 2009, and we've been working with her ever since. And you know, as Gail already alluded to this, Barbara speaks softly, but she does not carry a big stick. She researches the books. She reaches out to possible speakers, and she always makes sure that everything is going to go according to plans. So she has worked so hard over all these years. It is a great pleasure to present her with this award. We also have another award. There was a little mishap, which we will fix. This collection of bookends, Leaning Lady Bookends. And this is what it says. My glasses on, excuse me. Barbara Rosett, with appreciation for the creation and dedicated service to the Harry Rosenbaum Jewish Historical Society, Judaica Library, and Book Talks. We are ever grateful to you, and we look forward to many more years of wonderful, wonderful book talks. The George J. Goldberg Leadership Award from the Jewish Historical Society of Fairfield County, February 2016. Our pleasure.
I just want to repeat what everybody else has been saying. I want to say to Barbara that we admire and appreciate her, and we learn from her. We learn from her leadership style. She is soft-spoken, she is kind, she's efficient, and she's careful. The book talks have developed into a really intellectual and fun place to go and be. And they have enriched our lives, and I hope that you will all join us at our book discussion groups and maybe even think about being on our committee. We read books, we pick the books we love the best, and we try to get interesting speakers for you. Barbara has led us through this in her indomitable way. Thank you, Barbara.
Can everybody hear me? First of all, I want to thank all these wonderful accolades. Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I really didn't think that was me they were talking about, but I guess it is. And I thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. What I've done has been a labor of love. I love books. I am a professional librarian. I've worked that way for many years. And it's in retirement, it's a pleasure to continue to do that. Book talks evolved from a very small book discussion group. And I'd like to take everybody back a little bit to talk about the establishment of the library. So often people forget about those who have built the foundation on which we stand today. So let me just say a few words about how we were established, how the Jewish Historical Society was established, and how book talks came to be. Getting this award has, of course, brought back many, many memories. And it's hard to believe. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, good. All right. It has been over 30 years since Ruth Polster, of blessed memory, and I, along with a librarian, as we had a paid librarian in the beginning, whose name was Judy Williams, and a host of volunteers, were celebrating the establishment and the opening of the Harry Rosenbaum Judaica Library. There were many people in attendance that night. What I'd like to do is have us all put on our time travel hats and come back with me to Tuesday evening, November 9th, 1983, when the library was officially dedicated at the Jewish Community Center. Harry Rosenbaum, for whom the library is named, cut the ribbon that had been placed over the library door. Rabbi Joseph Ehrenkrantz spoke, calling Harry Rosenbaum the #1 Jewish community citizen of Stamford. And indeed he was. Mark Sternlick, chairman of the Holocaust Memorial Committee of B'nai B'rith, said there were about 500 books in the library, 300 of which had been given by his committee. And of course, there were a host of volunteers who had worked absolutely feverishly to get all these 500 books on the few bookshelves that we then had in the library. There was a featured speaker. His name was William Donat. He was a Holocaust survivor and then chairman of the advisory board to the New York City Holocaust Library. And it was the 45th anniversary of Kristallnacht, which was on November 9th, 1938. Joseph Miller, vice chair and co-founder of the Holocaust Memorial Committee, said his group had helped make the library a reality. And indeed he did. Joe was the guiding spirit of the library. There wasn't a day that he wasn't there, making sure we were running things very well, and bringing another book on the Holocaust. So these were the founders, the people who were present at the creation and who built a very strong foundation for this repository of Jewish heritage. These people had the foresight to establish a vibrant, living memorial. At that time, the library was overseen by a committee then chaired by Arthur Smith, and whose members were Harry Rosenbaum, Joe Miller, Ruth Polster, Ed Golliff, and myself. We were truly a dedicated and enthusiastic group. Over the years, the collection has grown. I think it's now about 3,000 volumes, I understand. There are magazines, beautiful children's section, comfortable chairs and tables, and someone at the desk to always help with whatever you're seeking. When we first began, there was a very, very small discussion group. I think maybe 8 or 10 people would come every month to talk about a book. Today, we have grown that discussion group, and it's become the Book Talks program, very popular. It attracts many people monthly. We run from October to May, and the presenters have always been volunteers. And I'm going to name a few of them. because they are very dedicated. There was Marilyn Schwartz. There is Marilyn Schwartz, I should say. Rabbi Joshua Hammerman has joined us. Julian Reitman, someone who's moved away now. I don't know if anybody remembers him. Dr. Sandra and Frank Melzer, Ernest Vanwick of blessed memory, Larry Block, to name only a few, and recently Bob Abrams, Alyssa Kaplan, and just last week, Joan Krantz. So today, I would like to say that in 1995, the library was officially conveyed by the Holocaust Memorial Committee of Stamford to the Jewish Historical Society. Ed Golub and Arthur Finchler were always on hand and on board to help everybody to sort books and to be there to keep the library going. And now that we're in the 21st century, the library is also with an automated circulation system. And so today, as I give great thanks for the George Goldberg Award, it is not only for myself, but it's also for so many people who then and now continue to make the library what I've always called the crown jewel of the Jewish Historical Society. So again, I thank you for this splendid honor and award, which I accept with great humility and appreciation, and which has personally brought back so many wonderful memories from past years. Thank you.
The best gifts always come in the small packages. And we say to Barbara, Yasher Koach, or more power to you.